They had two different options for rear rotors, so I just picked up both of them and then just returned whatever I don't use. There's a difference in the hub size, so I'll show you guys that when we get to it. So I'm going to unbox this stuff and lay it all out, show you how I like to sort everything before I start all the jobs. Brake pads, front rotors. This one and these are the both rear rotors. The difference is the outer hub diameter for these rotors to fit in. So once I take the wheel off the car and take the rotor off, I'll be able to measure it and see exactly which one came off. And that's the best way I'll do it. Then whatever ones I don't use, I'll return. And then I kept my boxes the same, that way I know which box to return them with. So, and then also here's my rear pads. So I use this stuff from BG. It's called Stop Squeal, and basically I've used this when I was at Audi and BMW. And so next I'm going to jack up the rear of the truck. Alright, so I have the jack stands. I always put the jack stands on the axles, and I left the truck up by the differential. It's usually the lowest point, so if you have a small jack, we usually get to it. I used a 4x4 block to go underneath the diff. So now I'm going to take the wheels off and then see what tools I need to take off the caliper brackets, the caliper, and then the rotor. So I already broke loose the lug nuts with my 1/2-inch ratchet. Normally I would just take them off my 1/2-inch gun, but the motor actually broke, so broke them off beforehand. That way I can still. Oh, wrong size. Here's the caliper. It looks like I need a 17mm socket. Maybe I'll use a wrench. I have long wrenches that I can get some good leverage on. But before I start, I'm going to open the hood and take the cap off the brake master cylinder. That way when I go to squeeze the pistons out, the brake pistons, I'm not fighting a lot of resistance with the cap being on and building up a lot of pressure. So I'm going to take the cap off. I guess I can show you guys that. Alright guys, I'm back. I didn't realize my phone died. So these two here are 18mm bolts. They go to the back here to thread into the caliper bracket. Before you take those all the way out though, you're going to want to get yourself a T50 Torx 50 socket. Or 55, sorry. T55. That way you can get the bottom slide pin out, so that when you take the whole assembly off, you can pivot this up on the existing one, because there's no room to get the slide pin on the top because the leaf springs are right there. So you're going to want to get the bottom one. It took me quite a bit. I had to get my my pull off my jack to be able to break it loose. But while I'm here, so to move these pistons back in the back into the caliper, so this tool I got is from Blue Point. I don't know the part number exactly, but it's a brake piston tool, and what it does is you latch it, and it's kind of hard to do with one hand. All right, just turn my light on real quick. So it ratchets on this little selector lever for what side you want to go, but basically you just go and it cranks one way or another, and it pushes these two pieces out, which obviously these don't move, so the only thing else left to move are these pistons, your brake pistons. So obviously you have the other hand to hold it, the other one to crank, and then it's going to push them all the way out. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So